So here's your orb. This, they say, is not the shadow of the orb. It's the energy coming. It's the energy from the orb. And all of this here, they're saying that this is bat poop. And the orb with the energy is pushing everything away from the center of the orb. So they say that this is the energy. I truly believe this. There we have a cross. Looks like a goddess of some sort, and there's a cross. Here we only have one pillar, one, not two, but one. So I realized owning this was really something, because I was, really going over this and trying to own it, and then it hit me. Then I was brought to memory. It happened to me one night. I was putting on my makeup, and at the corner of my eye, I noticed something. So I turned and I looked to my left, and there was this red orb hovering, just like this here. Okay, just like that. But it was red, and it was about 2 feet away from me. And I remember just looking at this thing as it was looking at me. Believe me, I mean, it felt like we were eye to eye, like. And I remember I just stood there looking at it. My mind was clear, and it was as though I was just waiting for instruction. I was just waiting to hear God's voice. And then it just disappeared. It just disappeared. It was just like this, 2 feet away from me, just hovering in the doorway. So I would tell anybody that would listen. I was telling everybody. And then it clicked one day that it wasn't this here, the moral of the story. What it was is that I had no fear when I was confronted with the enemy. I had no fear. I was waiting. I wasn't frozen in fear. There was no fear of the enemy. And this is what we're looking at. The enemy. So this is why it kind of took me a couple of days to go over all of this, so this is why I ask for patience. Okay. So let's continue. And it's been 10 years. I remember seeing this on TV when they did when they were there. Oh, it was about 10 years ago. And my husband and I watched this. And now I'm back here again, 10 years later, watching and seeing what I couldn't see on TV. So I'm owning it. The scientists were amazed at what they were seeing. The sphere was just hovering in midair. There was no wires holding it up. It was not an illusion. It has been estimated that the floating sphere is directly in line with the point of the pyramid. When word of the mysterious floating sphere reached the Egyptian Antiquity Department, the exploration team was ordered to cease their activity and withdraw the probe immediately. The videotape was confiscated, and they were ordered to leave the pyramid. The next day, the Egyptian government issued a gag order that forbid any disclosure of the skeleton remains of the half-human, half-cat, and especially the floating sphere. They were to remain a state secret until they could determine exactly what they were. Fortunately, the story was plucked up by the national reporter before the gag order was issued, and we are at great risk bringing this astonishing find to the world. What the scientist will uncover about this strange object, unknown at this time, but you can determine on the national reporter to be the first news agency to carry the story. And then it says breaking news. Okay. To this day, scientists have been unable to figure out how the mystery gold orb is suspended in midair. Some of them have speculated that the story is a hoax or that the orb is a product of a computer image manipulation. All of these theories have been poo-pooed by the scientist community as childish answers to a phenomena that the just can't figure out. On Dr. Martin is one of the specialists or scientists who is actively investigating the strange floating orb. On April 6, 2019, the mysterious floating orb seemed to come to life. The following video is an audio recording of the event that left the great minds of our time baffled. Judge for yourself. Okay, I'm going to read this just in case you can't read it. I'm not sure if you can, so, okay. In 2009, a special scientific team from the National Reporter was sent on an, assignment to Egypt to investigate a bizarre discovery in one of the greatest pyramids of Giza. What they discovered shocked the science world. A secret chamber was discovered in the upper portion of the pyramid. Inside, they discovered the skeleton remains of what appeared to be a half-human and half-cat-like creature. DNA. This is what they do with the DNA. This is the blood clot. This is Satan's creation. The discovery of this strange creature was overshadowed by what was found in the room behind it, which it seemed to be guarding. A mysterious golden orb which was suspended in midair, defying gravity. The orb was completely motionless, and the only sign of force that was suspended in the midair was the ground distorting direct. Okay, I explained that. Many people assume that this is to be the shadow of the orb, but it is not. I explained that. People who think it is a shadow, that the orb is a Photoshop, are considered retarded by the society. Okay. For nearly a decade since the discovery, the orb has hovered motionless in the secret room, undisturbed by scientists who are forbidden to enter. Recently, the orb has been once again attracting the attention of scientists from around the world. In early March, the orb began making a loud humming sound. On April 6, a mysterious voice boomed from the orb and shocked the team of scientists who had gathered to observe the strange object. The voice spoke in an alien dialect and lasted for a few seconds. The following is the only recording of the voice which was captured by the quick-thinking scientific investigation team from the National Reporter. This recording is the exclusive property of the National Reporter, so you will not find it anywhere else. The message here is not to fear. You are looking at your enemy. This thing was in my house, 2 feet away from me. But the moral of that story is that I had no fear. And this is my testimony. And this is just coming from me. But one tower, the cross, the energy. And I'm going to tell you right now, I see so many demons and faces in this place. I see them. So, no fear. That's what this is all about, no fear. And you remember when you look at that tower that God told Isaiah, chapter 30, what was going to happen that day. That He's in control. But you have to believe. That's the beginning of your faith. So till next time, no fear, be love, and give hope. God bless you all. Peace be with you.